Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Costume Cult's General Meeting number 5. Today is June 6th, 2023, and we are starting to get into we're starting to get into the realm where things are really starting to happen involving camp. A lot of these meetings we start in, our first technical meeting is January or February, but that's sort of, really just kind of kicking things off in general. March is when we really introduce things. April and May is people kind of getting an idea of what we do and how we do it. June is really where things start to happen, and that's really where teams come and play. That's where people, things start getting real. Pods, thinking about how you're going to get to playa, how you're going to get off playa. It is 88 days until the man burns. 88 days, my favorite number. It's double infinity, and it's getting close. I remember not too long ago when it was 100 and something, and now all of a sudden we're at 88, and it's only going to go down from there. Today we're going to be, so first off, I want to kick off this meeting with a little video.
It's 11 a.m. and they're about to catapult 2 huge pianos.
This is in 2015, by the way. If you're wondering the kind of shenanigans that happen out in the desert, this is a really, really good example. Well, that was anticlimactic. Hang on. We're going to do this old school because I don't know why that's not doing that. Hang on.
It's 11 a.m. and they're about to.
We're going to keep it open so we can actually watch it.
Pianos.
Here we go. All right. Well, and that is one thing out of many things that you'll see out in the desert at the burn. Sorry for the video glitch, but much like Burning Man, these things happen. Today's meeting agenda: cost sharing reminder, burner express bus information arrival and departure. We're going to talk about MOOP a little bit. We're going to be talking about pods, team updates, acculturation, upcoming KK events, and resources in general. So first off, camp cost sharing. If you've not sent in your cost sharing dues yet, please do so. We really need you to do that. We're not going to be due for a little bit, but the earlier you get them in, the better. So please get those in if you've not done so yet. Cost sharing payment options. We have no fee payment options, which is the preferred way. Zelle or QuickPay is a preferred option to costumecultfinance@gmail.com or by Venmo to @costume-cult. If you're using Venmo, please make sure turn on for purchases is not selected to avoid fees. If you really must use PayPal, you can do that, but we'd prefer you don't, just because we no longer have the friends and family option on our account. And there's not a lot we can do about that. So it's better for everybody involved if you use Zelle, QuickPay, or Venmo. Thank you all very much.
Hey, Jean.
Yes.
Just wanted to give a quick update about camp dues.
Yes, go right ahead, please.
yeah,
Mariana, this
so-
is Mariana.
Hey, this is Mariana. So we've been working with vendors and figuring out how much our cost sharing would be this year. And we have increases in various vendor management, but overall the increases were less than 10%. And we felt as a camp, we are going to be able to keep the dues at $650. We did request a couple weeks ago that you send in half your dues at $325. The remaining $325 is coming up due this month. If you haven't sent those in, you will lose your spot in camp. So that's important that you go ahead and send in your at least half. If you're having timing issues, please reach out to me. I'll drop my email in the chat so we could figure something out. And as Jean said, please don't send it through PayPal because we do incur fees and we're not looking to take a cut, like have PayPal take a cut of your camp dues.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
Mariana. Great. costumecultfinance@gmail.com. That is correct for Zelle or QuickPay. If you guys want to take a screenshot of the screen, you can do that or write it down, take a picture. Mariana will put the email in chat, and Mariana, if you can also put the Venmo in chat, that'd be great. The @costume-cult. Great. Cash or check, if you want to do that, that's fine by me. You can give it to myself, Mariana, or Brandon at any Costume Cult event or at any meeting. If you are in Manhattan, you can ping me, and you can even meet me somewhere if you want to give it to me. If you're in Brooklyn, we can work it out with somebody else, not a problem. But yeah, that's definitely an option. Okay. Burner Express bus. Your fast lane to the playa. It's really like Disneyland as far as getting on that fast pass and not having to wait hours upon hours upon hours upon hours in and out. The Burner Express bus, we are very fortunate in that we have enough people to charter our own buses to and from playa. We've already worked this out. Tickets will be exactly what they were the past 3 years, which is $110 each way. We have chartered one bus coming into Black Rock City on Saturday, August 22nd at 10 a.m. The pickup is at Grand Sierra Resort. If that changes, always that. If it's never not been that, if that does change, we will let you know. 40 seats available, $110 each. You can bring, I believe it's 2 pieces of luggage and a carry-on. It's a lot more generous than the airlines give you. And you actually will save a hell of a lot of time by doing that. It'll take you right to Costume Cult. It won't be wherever the regular Burner Express bus goes on playa. It'll be wherever we are. And we'll talk about placement a little bit later, but we don't know where we are placed yet. So when we know that wherever that is, though, that's where that bus is going, along with container. Oh, Saturday, August 22nd, is it not? Hang on one moment. Oh, it's the 20th. Mariana, is it 26th or 22nd? Hang on. One moment.
26.
26th. Well, that's incorrect. August 26th at 10 a.m. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Pickup will be at Grand Sierra Resort on the 26th at 10 a.m. 40 seats available, 110 each. First come, first served. And then leaving after the burn. And let me tell you, if you don't take it in on the way in, you should definitely take it on the way out. As soon as we're done with our final MOOP sweep and we're all exhausted and everybody has to sit in a giant exodus line. Last year, people waited upwards of 12 hours. You will not have to do that. From the time you get on that bus and that time the bus starts moving, you will be on pavement on the road in about 15 minutes, not even. We skip the line going out. It is then a three-hour trip to Reno. And when you are in Reno and you are getting that hot shower and room service and all the things, and you start looking at the shell-shocked people that had to sit in Exodus for 12 hours or more, you will be very, very, very happy that you stayed for breakdown and got that ticket. It's so, so worth it. So that is Monday, September 4th at 4 p.m. Drop-off is at the Grand Sierra Resort. If you're staying somewhere else, not a problem. Taxis are 10, 15 bucks wherever you happen to want to go. We will have 2 buses for that, 80 seats total, 40 seats per bus, $110 each. These tickets are first come, first served. And they are on sale now. You can click the QR code. You can take a picture of the QR code or go to that link. If you buy it now, you can only transfer that and you end up not going to the burn for whatever reason. We can either give you a refund or you can transfer it to another costume culture. You cannot give your seat available to, oh, hang on. That's a very good point. I will take care of that I'll take care of that in a moment. You cannot give your seat to another costume culture. One moment. So that is if they're showing sold out, we'll take care of that. As soon as the meeting is over, we'll make sure that's corrected, and then you can go buy your ticket out. On the way in, they should be working fine. So take a picture of that, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. If you can't buy your ticket on the way out, as soon as this meeting is over, you will be able to buy your ticket. So,
hey, Jean, the full QR code is not in view.
yeah, it is. Well, then you can use the bit.ly link. Departure is 4 p.m. Monday, estimated, within an hour of that usually. It's never been later than 4:30. Okay. Burner Express bus. Transportation logistics. Getting to and from Playa. Monday and Wednesday of Build Week, we will be offering shuttles to get you to the Playa. If you arrive on Friday, if you're arriving on Friday of Build Week, you are pretty much on your own, but that shouldn't be a problem as there will be plenty of people who will be getting to Costume Cold on Friday that can probably give you a ride. There's all kinds of people going to the burn that you can get a ride with. If you are truly in a bind and can't figure that out, you can talk to myself or Mariana or Brandon, and we'll happily go through your various options. It's not a problem. Saturday, August 26th, there's a KK Burner Express bus, an excellent option if you are arriving Saturday. And then Monday, September 4th, the KK Exodus bus, which will leave our frontage at 4 p.m. on Monday, September 4th. Breakdown is really, really important. That bus is an incentive to stay for breakdown, because even though you're staying for breakdown, you're saving 12 hours of your time on getting off Playa, which is always a great thing. Again, campers connect for rides on their own outside of these arrival and departure times.
I just wanted to speak to, it's so much better if you can not rent a car, because it's kind of pointless to do so, because you basically have your car parked for 10 days and not use it, and then when you get back, you have to clean it. Taking the bus is the way to go.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Moop.
Gene, quick question.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
For the shuttles on Wednesday and Monday, how do we sign up for that, or how does it work? You know, for those who are going to come on Wednesday or Monday to help with the build up.
So for Monday and Wednesday, traditionally what we do is camp will rent a couple minivans, and we'll shuttle people out on Monday. And then for Wednesday people, we'll send the shuttles back out to go pick them up. And depending, as we get closer, we'll have a better look of what that looks like, because we have to know who's coming. Maybe there's people that are bringing personal vehicles. Maybe there's a lot of variables that are not like solidified. But the guarantee that camp is guaranteeing is that Monday and Wednesday people, camp will help you get there.
Okay, so but is there like a list or something that we need to be on, you know, in order for you guys to make, you know, like a
No,
decision?
the only list that you need to do now is on your confirmed camper form is to indicate that you're interested in coming to Build Week. And then
Okay.
that will trigger the second part of the organization.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so just so you know, the purchasing of the Burner Express bus tickets on the way out should now be corrected. You can go ahead and purchase an exit ticket and departure ticket on September 4th. If that isn't working still for some reason, please let us know immediately in chat, but it should be corrected now. Moop. We're gonna watch a little video and Moop.
For context, this is the man base. Like, we are right here, dead center. There's 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock's that way, and boom, just like that, 80,000 people just showed up and getting ready to build, burn, blow it up. We were just here 5 weeks ago looking at the open playa and the beauty, and we're getting ready to restore it to that beauty. So we're gonna build, burn, blow it up, and leave no trace.
Leave no trace, it's really fundamental to the placement process, and I think it is to every camp, or at least it should be. So from placement's end, we look at camps coming in and requesting placement, and one of our criteria for placement is leave no trace. We also look on the other end after the event at every placed camp, and we cross-reference that with the Moop map, and we take a look and say, how did you do? You know, were you green, were you yellow, were you red? So the city grid is absolutely critical. It's where where all of us live. And where we can leave no trace, or we can leave things behind.
Basically, matter out of place, Moop is anything. It can be anything and everything that doesn't belong on this Black Rock Desert, which is everything. It could be wood chips, it could be plastic debris, metal debris. These are all things that we build things out of. These are all things that don't belong on the playa, and we're doing our best to find everything. And again, the community does an amazing job. They probably pick up 99% of everything. which is visually 100%. So yeah, the move sweep doesn't happen until everybody's actually gone. The concept of the line sweep is to line up along the block and sweep from one side to the other with people picking up move. We cover 4 blocks at a time. You can see that people are moving quickly. Some people are moving slow. Some people are stopped. And so those areas where they're stopped because there's something there. And my crew, highway cleanup, follows up. Traffic of Burning Man has moved on, and it is safe for us to be on the highways. We hit the highways and we pick up all the move on both sides of the highway as fast as we can. We'll pick it up within 48 hours, you know, and actually road debris is actually a safety issue. These are things that are falling on the highways. And there's a national message out there about road debris. It says, secure your load like somebody you love is driving behind you, because they are. And that's especially true of Burning Man in Black Rock City. So when I published the MOOC map 2006, it got forwarded far and wide, and also the messaging behind it was like, hey, this is us tracking our effort, and we would like you to take this information seriously, but not take it personally. And that way we can all get better and keep building and burning and doing this again. And it kind of proved to me, it was like, oh, the community does care. They do care. And then every year it's gotten a little bit better, a little bit better. Also, as we've grown. And it also, it's an indicator. It's a confidence indicator as we head into the Bill M inspection. It's like we look at the map, it's colored out. We know where there were hot spots or where things were difficult, but now we're ready for the inspection.
So the Burning Man post-site inspection that the BLM has with Burning Man takes place around that first week of October. What is at stake for Burning Man is essentially a report card. It shows that all the work, all the team effort that the post-site inspection team has put into these last, 4 weeks ever since Labor Day, it's going to give them an A+. And I believe DA's told me, like, this is their Super Bowl. Like, they are so ready to have an A+ on this report card.
The BLM will come out and they will they'll put a flag at the inspection point, and where the GPS said this coordinate, and then they will put a plastic bag and it'll have the coordinates on there. We'll go to each point, and then we'll take out the flag, and then we'll pull out a stake that is tied to a rope that is 37.7 feet, and then we'll walk that radius in a line sweep. We'll line sweep that radius and pick up everything that we find in that circle. And then everything we find goes into that bag. And basically, so if that MOOP is bigger than 3.7 inches, that's a fail. So it's an intense standard that the BLM puts on Burning Man. So the BLM inspection just happened, and we did 120 test points. We had about 100 people doing 80 to 100 people doing the inspection, and it looks like we did great. I'm in awe right now. The pressure was on. There were no obvious fails. It almost looks like a perfect score, and I'm afraid to even say that out loud because it's not official yet. But I'm really proud of my crew, and I'm proud of the 80,000 people of Black Rock City for their Leave No Trace effort. I'm continually just blown away, and I would really love for the community and the world to really understand our Leave No Trace effort and the success of it.
I just absolutely love that Leave No Trace is one of our core principles.
So that is the MOOP map process. That is MOOP in general. We do that. We at the end of breakdown, every camp has to do that on their land. We literally do that. We will do that 2 times, 3 times. We will keep doing it until there is nothing. In 2019, we had a perfect MOOP score along with most other people. It was a really great year for weather. It was not very cold. It was not very dusty. I mean, it's always dusty, but it wasn't anything crazy. And we all had a really, really good year. This past year, we slipped a little bit. A lot of that was not our fault, believe it or not. We did have a container that had some rust on it, and we couldn't see the bottom of the container that had the rust on it because by the time we left, the container was still there. And when they picked up the container and took the container away, lo and behold, there was a lot of rust left behind, and we had no way to see that. We also had a couple of tent stakes. Tent stakes, not that big, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8 inch. But they come across that tent stake when they're doing their line sweep, and how red you are, how red that area is dependent upon how long it takes them to deal with whatever you left behind. If it's glitter, you can expect blood red because that takes forever. If it's wood chips, maybe not that bad, but a tent stake that's driven in all the way, if it's like rebar all the way down, which is pretty much what it was, they had to go dig that out, and they, stopped their entire line sweep, and we got 3 blood red patches on probably a 6 to 6 foot area per stake of our plot on the MOOP map. And even though, little tiny stake, it doesn't go by that. It goes by how long it takes them to deal with it. One year in 2017, we had a bunch of wood chips on frontage. The whole good chunk of our frontage was red, and we took steps to remediate that. And we took steps to deal with wood and how we deal with wood in general. If you look at this picture, that was the year. If you look at the Empire State Building, that thin Luan wood that's kind of sitting there, we didn't do a really good job of putting down tarps. You'll notice that wood on the ground has no tarps underneath it to catch wood chips. We were doing all kinds of stuff. Now it's any type of woodwork. First off, we use composite when possible. We prefab as much as possible here in New York. And but most of all, we vacuum everything, and we do all of our cutting and drilling and all of that in a shipping container, in the workshop container, which has all the tools and all that, because it's a hell of a lot easier to contain it in the first place than have to deal with it after. And when we're sitting there during breakdown and we're all sweating our asses off and we want to get out of there because we've had a really great burn, but a really, a long breakdown, we don't want to have to deal with multiple line sweeps. I think the record's 5, and it shouldn't really be more than 2 or 3 tops. It takes a lot. We have a large piece of land. So, when you're out there, and I'm just kind of getting it instilled upon everybody now, think about breakdown. Think about the video you just saw. Think about the people that have to be there weeks after you are long gone and back at home, ordering takeout, that they're dealing with literally our MOOP that's been left behind. So that's pretty much it for MOOP. So I'd like to talk about pods. Pods are very important, obviously. That's where you're going to be, your home within a home, a camp within a camp, if you will. And we're going to kind of turn that over to Brandon, aka the Pod Father.
Hey everybody, your standard issue pod talk today. So let's see, go to the next slide. We've got 5 pods so far. 3 of them are full. We've got room for 1 more pod. We've got All the Thongs, which is full. Mirror Menagerie, which is full. Animalists Among Us is full. Bearded Dragons has some space. Flaming Flamingos has some space. And if you want to create your own pod, we strongly encourage that. We can definitely send some campers your way as well. So If you haven't yet, please start signing up for pods or finding a pod or creating a pod, because we need to start mapping everything out, getting everything ready, figure out what kind of tents or RVs or anything anybody's going to do. So we can get that to the map team so they can start creating the whole camp map. And then underneath the shade structure of that, we will build our individual pods layout and how we want to do that. As a lead, you would help do that with your pod. Is there another slide or no?
I
No.
think that's pretty much
Okay.
it for
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yep, it should be noted that we're going to be, there will be more pods added in general. We are adding more campers. There are still people in the pipeline that are, until dues are in, you're not confirmed. So there will possibly be opportunities for additional pods later, to start additional pods later. But right now, this is kind of where we're at. So I will turn it over to Aiden, who's going to be talking about frontage. Aiden, go right ahead.
Awesome. Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, so frontage. Hey, everyone. Another update for frontage coming to you. We are making some good progress on the projects that we have chosen to delve deeper into and build for our frontage this year. The main two pushes that we're going to be working on up here in New York, and that'll make more sense in a second, is the K train and the Empire State Building spire renovations, I'll call it. We've gotten our permits from the city of New York to finally work on them, all 500 of them. Oh my God, that'd be a fun bit to put out front. Anyway, so these are some upcoming build dates. So what are build days to all the new campers? So like I said earlier on in our camp meetings, we need to prefabricate, pre-build a lot of our stuff as much as possible. In fact, there are some things we can do on Playa as a last resort, but it will make our lives a lot easier if we're pre-building things. So mark your calendars. These are on the KK official calendar for this year, but mark your own. Try to get some free time these days to come on out to the Maker Junction on 3 of these days, and then the storage location on the 4th. There'll be announcements in the Slack channel, the frontage Slack channel. So if you're interested and don't have a car, other people will be carpooling or figuring out some other solutions. Some days we'll probably have even renting trucks so that we can get some of the materials that we're working on to storage. But basically what happens is we're all going to group up, team up, get into cars, head out to the Maker Junction, which is in Fairfield, New Jersey, about a 35 to 40-minute drive from Jersey City. Path stations. They have a bunch of tools there. We're going to stop by the Home Depot right there, buy some materials, bring them over to the Maker Junction, and then just start building. The main pushes are we're going to do some cutting of wood, specifically some wood paneling where we've decided on for the paneling for the K train, and some other 2x4 cutting, things like that, and then making sure that they're adequately prepped for Playa so that we're not moving all over the place. I'm anticipating, and we're still fleshing out the exact details of fabricating. Kyle has been leading the K-Train project and Jas has been leading the Empire State Building. So more details will be coming out as we hammer out our requirements for these. But long story short, get these dates on your calendar, and we need as much help as possible. The more the merrier. The one outlier on this is the New Jersey Storage Day, which will be plugging in and checking that the marquee works. We are aware that one side is broken, but we're just going to be doing some further assessments on that. And then we're just going to be repacking and reorganizing our inventory, maybe a collab with DPW to make sure that all of our extension cords are in the right boxes and that they work and are not corroded from love burn. Yeah, and then the final announcement is that the DJ booth is moving along nicely. Gabe is going to be hopefully putting that together down in his Florida wood workshop. We have some initial renders, but we're going to wait till they are a bit prettier with some decorations on them to show them to you all. But it's looking very cool. It's going to resemble a somewhat probably a New York City bodega slash maybe some brick wall inspiration on it as well. But the initial renders of that are looking great. And we're going to be doing some cool lighting. I'm working with Jorge on that. So if you are a new camper looking to get involved and you just want to help out, these build days are a fantastic way to do that. If you want to actually participate a little bit more and help design something, we have a couple bite-sized small projects here and there that that we could use help on. So you can hop in the Frontage channel, reach out to me. If any one of these projects seems interesting to you, you can reach out, holler in the Frontage channel, and the project leads will scoop you up. But yeah, other than this, this is pretty much the bulk of what we're going to be working on for Frontage, including lighting. And yeah, we'll be doing a little bit of printing as well. So again, keep an ear out in the Frontage channel for that. If printing on vinyl is a calling that you secretly have. But yeah, that is pretty much the summary for Frontage. Stay tuned and get ready for some build days. They're going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you, Aiden. Okay, if you have not done so yet, all these calendar dates, all these things, please go ahead and get your shared Google Calendar, connect to it. Everything that we do and put in here in these presentations is in this calendar. If you have it shared, then you'll know. We'll get to questions in a second. So speaking of things that are, let me just leave that up for one more moment. If anyone wants to take a picture of it, if you haven't gotten it yet, please, for your own sanity, add this to your shared calendar. Okay. Acculturation.
All right. So yeah. Do you want do you want to take it, Jim? Do you want me to? Oh, okay.
Go for it.
So on acculturation, on the calendar thing, please join the calendar, because we reach the amount of invites we can send from the domain. That's why today I sent my invite from my personal email. So if you can please join the calendar, that'd be great. Otherwise you won't have the sheet that you won't be cheating anymore, because I invite you to make sure you don't miss it. So now please, it's up to you to know what's happening, and you know how. Just get on the calendar and then you'll receive notifications. All right, moving past events. Last week was an eventful week. We had a costume swap. Shout out to Shannon, Ian, and everybody who helped. It was really fun. It was only 20 of us, but we had so much food. Costume Jim dropped off some gems from his closet. We had so much fun. There were like former KKers, KKers alumni. There was like better people that are not even camping with us. So it's really, or they're coming to the burn this year at all. So it was really fun to see new and old faces and get new costumes. And the other thing that happened last week, shout out to Alex and Ina, they went to Figment in Staten Island, and apparently it was amazing. Is Alex or Ina around to tell us a little bit, like recap?
Yeah, I'm here. I think Ina's still coming back from the city. But I think she's on the train. So but yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was great. Thank you for all volunteers. I tagged some people, although I think some of them are not on Slack, which is weird.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, it was great. We got placed right by the entrance. Shout out to Jackie from Figment, who is like the coordinator, and she's amazing. She put us right by the entrance, and we were able to get a lot of foot traffic. So like families coming in would immediately be like, hey, get a costume. We gave away almost everything we brought. On the way back, it was mostly empty crates, maybe a couple of crates left over, which is pretty great. Yeah, lots of people there, great weather, great placement. We were next to our friend Disco Tree, they were jamming out all day. So we had like some music next to us. And yeah, it kind of all came together. So thanks for everyone who helped out.
Thank you, Alex.
Alex.
Thank you. That was great. This was put together in like very few weeks, and it turned out amazing. So, but yeah, so this just happened. If you missed it, next slide, please. we have more acculturation events. MOOP 101 this weekend, virtual. Then we have the learner burner orientation, also virtual on the 27th of June. Then Radical Self-Reliant 101 in July. Then we're gonna have, this is the latest. Ethan, Steph are going to be hosting a few of us to a packing tips and tricks sipping crafting party. It's kind of like we're gonna do it all because it's gonna be a month before we all have to depart, and like 2 weeks before we have to maybe 10, yeah, I guess 2 weeks before we have to do load in. So this is kind of your last minute hangout to kind of like exchange ideas, tips, tricks, or kind of be like, oh, if you're bringing that, maybe I shouldn't bring this, you know. That would be great to do. I suggest like every pod does the same, and anybody who's adopting a international KKR does the same, because that way we don't bring so much crap to Playa. And then on adopting burners, we have a lead for the Adopt a Baby Burner. You should join the Slack, and Chelsea will send information coming soon. But basically, this is the KK program where we pair parent burners with a baby burner or a few of them, so they can have some one-on-one time and ask all the questions that you don't want to find yourself. So, or tips and tricks. But yeah, and this is coming up. So make a screenshot or join the calendar, like I said, be on Slack. And if you have any suggestions of other events, virtual or in person, please Slack me or email me, and we'll get them in the calendar. That was it.
Okay. Great. Okay, next up, Costume Cult's Black and Light Ball. AIAIO, this is this weekend. This is Saturday. It's going to be a great one. This is our, I believe, our 11th iteration of this party. We've been doing this since 2012, I believe. We've not, and yeah, it's been, it's one of our core parties after Hornball and Freak Show, and of course Halloween.
It's the 18th annual Black and Light Ball since
I'm
2007.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Costume Jim, for completely getting that wrong. I must have been thinking. I was thinking of. I was probably thinking of Valentine's Day or Freak Show, possibly.
Freak Show. Yeah, I'm here reorganizing all my electronic supplies, getting the Blacklight Reactive and all things Blinky into a brand new roller kiosk. So it's a great time to see what you've got that blinks or glows. It's not just about black light, it's about anything that glows. And if you want to throw in some tech or whether it's real or fake computer tech, that's definitely on theme. And we're in the final stages of the push for both people to get tickets, but also anybody that wants to do something that is somewhat in theme, whether it's nursery rhyme, Animalia, or AI tech. Denisa is producing decor. I'm around for crazy ideas and logistics. And of course, Gene is our fearless leader producing it.
Yep. It's a great party, always a great time, really great vibes. We have a really great lineup. It's absolutely a bumping lineup. These parties are our fundraisers. These parties are how we keep dues reasonable. It's really important that we sell tickets. It's really important that you promote this to your friends and send them Facebook invites and link to our Instagram. If everyone could do that, like right now, like just, put something up on your social media, linking to this, linking to Costume Cult. We can offer, a discount. We'll offer a discount code, which I'll put in the chat, which will take $10 off a ticket. Okay, it's going to be KKFAM10. And I'm going to put that right in there in the chat to everybody. and that'll take $10 off. I mean, hey, you know, it's at least a drink or you know, part of the cab ride there. But you know, it's a really good way to get people into all of this when they see the creativity and the awesomeness that goes into these parties. If you've never been, although I hope most of you have been at this point. If you're in this meeting.
Yeah, it's also a really good way to get to know each other. So I encourage everyone here to be, everyone who's going to be camping with us should be there, and you should bring your friends.
Right. So
real quick, Gene, I pinged on Slack earlier, but Jackie from Figment wanted, like, she brought it up. She was like, hey, I can blast out Black and Light through their socials, but I need to know what she should send. So
ping me afterwards. This is offline. We'll talk about it. No problem.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Great. Coney Island Mermaid Parade. Mariana or Jim, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I can talk about it.
Okay.
So June 17th is the Coney Island Mermaid Parade. It is the largest art parade in the country, possibly the world. It attracts about 1 million people to Coney Island. If you haven't been before, it's not just mermaids, it's anything like under the sea. Super, super creative. Highly recommend going. Costume Cult's been going for at least 10 years. Myself, Mars, Claire, Joanne, Michelle, Joni have been working really hard behind the scenes. We're going to be teaming up with Glinda the Good Bus, like we did last year. And we're decorating the bus in a giant yellow submarine. Totally a Beatles reference. You can look that up if you don't know about it. And our theme this year is yellow subs and doms. So we're kind of just like we're just being playful with that, and as we normally do.
And if you don't show up, Mariana will spank you. So
yes.
Yep. So I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
So everybody if you plan on going, it's really helpful for the Coney Island Mermaid Parade. Is a nonprofit organization. They ask everybody who's marching to register, and to march it's $30. And we've already registered our float, and I'll drop that float when you go to register. You'll use our float code so they know who you're marching with. Arrival is we ask everybody to be there by like 11 a.m. Last year we were the first float out the gate. There was other groups that marched in front of us, but we were at the very first. So you want to make sure that you're on time so you'll be able to march with us. Mars wants to jump in and talk a little bit about the choreography and what's going to go on for the day. Go ahead, Mars.
Hey all, super excited for the parade. For those of us who were there last year, we did a great job with our group choreography, so much so that I got a little ambitious. And this year we're gonna have 2 versions of the steps. So we're gonna have to learn it in either pairs, or there's 2 versions based on whether you were born in an odd year or an even year. The same directions are going to be on the event page, and there are YouTube videos with the choreography and steps, both versions, and then together they're going to be posted there. Also, we'll post our performance from last year for some inspiration. We're going to go over the dance stupid number of times, so please show up early and bring water.
Thanks. Mars, did you have any suggestions for people that will be joining in regards to costuming?
Yes. So for Mermaid Parade in general, we want to go with a sea theme. If you haven't seen Yellow Submarine, I mean, do yourself a favor, please do. There's plenty of pictures online. I think the start is bright and it's so
from the movie, there's the bad guys, the blue meanies. So if you want to go like all blue and furry, look up what they look like. And obviously, you can be a version of a yellow submarine. And at the end of the day, while we all really want to look cohesive, please don't feel pressured. Anything colorful, anything mermaid under the sea related, you are so fucking welcome. We are gonna rock this. Wait, I had one more thing. Yes, so yeah, practice as a pair, or we're gonna pair up when we get there and just practice the choreography for either an even year you were born or an odd year.
All right.
There's one more thing. There's in Michelle Joni has a picture of all the characters from Yellow Submarine movie. I'll repost that in Slack because she's trying to get people to dress up as all of the characters. She's an ambitious lady.
We'll post those on the, I mean, not everyone's in this meeting. We'll put those on like the event page as well. That's perfect.
Yep.
Ooh, those will be great for event promotion on Instagram story. Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Love it.
And,
All right.
and one more thing, there will be an after party for us on the boardwalk. If anybody was there last year, we took over this bar that has a like little backyard patio area. It used to be called Salt and Pepper or something. I forgot what it's called now, a forgettable name, but they have a sound system. They have been pinging me monthly since last year that they need to have us back. We brought the vibe, the DJs, and we kept it going. So we'll get you all the right information on the event page. And we need DJs and a whole bunch of other things. So other things for us to figure out.
All right. Awesome. If that's it for the Mermaid Parade, just to move on to a resource website. This is where all the things are. You know, it's not just the calendar, it's, you know, everything. Meeting recordings, communication channel instructions, important assets. This is on our website, costumecult.com/KKBM23. You know, if you don't have everything yet or you're new, we are still onboarding people into KK. We're not there yet. There's going to be a lot more of you soon. And you're going to be, you know, if you're one of those people who's just kind of getting into everything, this is a lot of these meetings, we repeat a lot of the information because we don't have everybody yet. So, you know, as we go through these meetings, you'll see this more and more, but if you are new, you need to know where to go. This is where you need to go to get all the information. This and the calendar. This is the calendar and Slack are the top three things you should really know for resources. Speaking of the calendar, here is one more Google Calendar link. If you didn't get it earlier, if you're joining late, so please grab that, get on it. All the things are on here, mostly and including important dates. Okay, we're going to open it up to questions now. Please submit your questions via chat, and we will answer them to the best of our ability. And if we need more clarification, we'll ask you to unmute and give us a little more detail. What's the status on bikes? Joanne, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, actually, I think it's Walker who is taking care of this, but we are going to have a form, an interest form go out really soon. And there's just a lot of logistics that we're trying to figure out, because if we have this truck come in, it can't come in during, you know, after builds, and when can we get them? So we're sorting all of that out, but it is being sorted out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good summary, Joanne. Hi, everybody. This is Walker. I'm going to be sending out the interest form after this meeting. It's not to submit a deposit. It's just to let us know if you think you'll be wanting a bike. That way we can get a sense of how many people want bikes, and then we can pass that along to Playa Bike Repair, and they can actually give us our code to start submitting deposits. So, thanks.
Great. Thank you very much. The three options, I'll get to the pod question in a moment from Junderful. The three options for communication, the calendar and Slack are the two big ones. We do send out emails for important dates. We do have a Facebook channel as well. And that's really for announcements and stuff like that. Slack is really your best bet. If you're not on Slack yet, you should definitely talk to Joanne or even myself after this call, and make sure that you get the application, join KKBM23, and make sure that, and if you haven't gotten an invite, definitely talk to one of us, because that's really where we do most of the announcements. It's just the most efficient way to do it. We will send out email blasts when necessary, or text messaging even, but that's really the big thing is Slack. What exactly is a pod? Brandon, you want to give a quick overview? If we still have Brandon.
A pod is basically a smaller subset within the camp, a group usually of around 20 people is what it's been in the past, 20 to 25 people that you share resources with. You set up a theme in your pod, you kind of set a vibe. So it's going to be who you're camping with, who you're going to be sleeping next to, who you're going to be under the same shade structure. You kind of hang out with each other when you're under the shade structure, your pod shade structure. So if you're more of a chill vibe person, then you probably want to find a pod that's kind of like that mood. If you're more of a partier and want to party in the pod and go out, then you probably want to find a pod for that. That's basically who you're going to spend, be sleeping next to and all that, and hanging out with somewhat when you're not in center shade or doing things around the camp or out exploring Burning Man. So, and then they kind of find where they're going to be within the camp. They might try to be farther back or farther forward or wherever in the pod structures to all that. So it's a good way to meet people and to share resources and connect.
Right. So right now, these are the pods just on the screen. These are the pods that are full, that are open. There will be a couple more added as we add more people, as people go through the pipeline. By the end of June, we expect to have most of camp in place. We are still just getting end of June, mid-July. That's when we'll have most of camp should be in place by the 4th of July. That's sort of always been the goal. If you don't see a pod here that, if you want to start your own pod, that can absolutely still happen. There will be people for that. Talk to Brandon when you have a moment. Reserve a container spot. We are not, so the next meeting will be all about container. Square footage is usually, we never know until we know, but historically it's been, I believe, $10.50 per square foot or $60 per yellow top bin. And that gets you and that ships the bin from here directly to Costume Call, directly to our property, directly to our land. So stay tuned for that. That'll be the next meeting for sure. And we'll have a lot more detail on that in the next meeting, just like we had a lot of detail concerning everything else in here. Okay, $11.50 per square foot. I'm sorry. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, very good. If you do think of anything and you'd like to ask it, go right ahead and do so in the Slack channel. We're usually pretty responsive, and we're happy to answer any and all questions that you may have. But for now, see everyone at Black and Light Ball this weekend. It's going to be a great party. Invite your friends. And that concludes Burning Man meeting number 5. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you,
thanks.
Gene, for running this.
Good night,
Of course.
Thanks, Gene.
Of course. Good night. Oh, good night, everyone.
Eugene.